The rising cost of losing weight. The makers of the weight loss drug Mounjaro more than double its price for UK consumers. Also coming up, the UK lands a $10 billion warship deal with Norway, supporting 4,000 jobs. And threading away around Trump's tariffs, how America's second-hand clothing sellers are cashing in. Hello there, welcome to Business Today. I'm Tyga Enright. Well, we're starting with the booming market for weight loss drugs because from today, the pharmaceutical giant Eli Lilly is raising the price of its injectable product, Mounjaro, in the UK to align it with pricing in the United States. Now, this all comes after President Trump complained about higher prices being paid by American consumers compared with Europeans. He threatened drug companies if they didn't act. Well, BBC research suggests that around 1.5 million people in the UK are using drugs like this. Almost all of them bought privately. The majority of them are Mounjaro, this according to some online pharmacies. And earlier this month, Eli Lilly said it was putting up the price of Mounjaro, the highest dose rising from £122 a month to £330, although the BBC does understand that that highest dose will be sold to some UK suppliers for just under £250. The NHS has also negotiated a separate discount for use with its patients. Well, to discuss this in more detail now, I'm joined by Samara Ferguson. She's Vice President at PharmaVentures. Thank you for joining us, Samara. These drugs really have changed the lives of so many people who use them. Do you think the price increase will put many of them off?
So I think that's a really interesting question. I think the demand is really high. The price increase is already making people decide that maybe they want to switch to other possible treatments. So I'm not sure it will put people off completely, but it might make them think quite carefully about which drug they actually go for.
And we're all waiting as well to see if actually the rival producers, the people who make Wegovy, may follow suit. Now, I know you've been in the boardrooms with other drug companies where they make pricing decisions. If you were sitting in Novo Nordisk's corridors of power, would you be suggesting they raise their prices or perhaps become a cheaper alternative?
I think that's a really interesting question. I think it really depends how much they want to bow to the pressure coming from the US government. There's a really big opportunity for them to come in at basically at a lower price and mop up from the market. But I can imagine they will definitely come under pressure to also look at price increases outside of the US.
And it's not easy, though, to switch, is it? It's not simply a case of trading in one brand of cola for another. There's a process that needs to be gone through, isn't that right?
Yeah, that is absolutely correct. And a lot of the pharmacies online are providing guidance on how to do that switch. So it's not as simple as just stopping one and starting the other the next day. There are a number of steps that would need to be considered.
I think it's fair to say weight loss drugs are a bit of a clickbait story these days. Everyone's interested in them. We're talking about it because it's about Mounjaro. But I wonder if you're seeing or anticipating price rises for other drugs that are nonetheless important, but perhaps less clickbaity, to bring them into line with American prices. Have you seen or heard of any suggestion of that?
So I haven't heard or seen of any, and it's really important to know that what we're talking about here is the list price. So in the UK, there are normally two prices. There's the price that's public, and there's the price that the NHS pays. So it's actually quite difficult to change the price that the NHS pays. So for products that are used mainly more in the private sector, yes, that could definitely be a possibility, but it's much more complex with the NHS.
Yeah, and with regards to these weight loss drugs, there really is kind of one or the other at this moment in time in the UK, if I'm not wrong. Do you see more competition coming in future from other products, other pharmaceutical providers who have found their way into this market?
Definitely. There are a number of products in development as a space that everyone's really interested in, as a massive opportunity in terms of really impacting on people's health. So there are definitely competitors coming on the horizon.
OK, very good. We'll have to leave it there. Samara Ferguson from PharmaVentures, thank you very much for joining us here on Business Today.